Hello and welcome. I am Dr. Anil Joshi. Welcome you to my series Iconography and Temple Architecture Perspectives. In the contest, we visit different temples. I personally go there, I take photographs, I gather as much information as possible from local site also, as well as from the guides, from the literature available. Then I photograph, videograph as much as possible. But as you know, in Tamil Nadu and in Kerala, the photography is restricted. So we can take photography only from outside. Therefore, we have got our own limitation as far as presentations are concerned. We have to stick to the discipline and rules, and we do not do photography inside where it is prohibited, but we are allowed outside in Sabha Mandap or from the outside. You can take photographs, and in spite of this limitation, you can appreciate the grand extension of such temples. So let's get going with the Yoga-Narasimha temple. It is near Madurai. You can call as the suburbs of Madurai, and there we are going to see it. There are a lot of myths also available with this temple. So from outside, from the distance, it looks like a elephant. So it was said that actually Chola kings, of course it is a story, we do not support it, neither we know whether it is true or false. He, with the help of black magic, sends an elephant over here to destroy the Nayak. Nayaks were that time rulers here, there, and before that the Pallavas. So the Pandyas were here. The Chola king sent certain negative energies with the help of elephant, and which was sent here, and that was not liked by Lord Shiva, and he converted that into a mountain, and where this temple is right now. Now let's go with the temple actual. The whole hill in the mansion has a span of around 4 kilometers and genuinely looks like a seated elephant from the distance, hence the story which I told you. It emphasizes that while Meenakshi temple is about grandeur, Yoga-Narasimha is about solitude and strength. What has contributed to its construction is a big rock which looks like elephant. The Yannai Malai is a elephant hill. This is called as Yannai Malai Yoga-Narasimha Swami temple, and it is near Madurai, very short distance from Madurai, you can say as the suburbs of Madurai, and it's a hidden gem near the Madurai which you must see. It is a rock cut marble that offers a distinct contrast in the towering gopurams of the Meenakshi temple. Now one thing you have to consider is the evolution of temples, how temples started. All the temples started initially as rock cut, then partially rock cut with superstructure constructed, and then totally standalone structures. If you want to see all these developments of the temple, you will have to visit Aihoi or Patatkal. There you will find lot of temples in these stages, and you can really appreciate. This belongs to one of it. That's why we appreciate Pandyas who has developed this, and they had a typical style of a tall pillars and a grand appearance to a temple. It's combination of cave cut plus super added structures. So let's go to the details of these highlights. The temple is prime example of Pandya rock cut architecture dating back to 8th century, approximately 770. How many years now? Almost 1200 to 1300 years. Now this is a cave construction, unlike temples built that is by stacked stones, or you can say as a standalone structure. This is excavated directly into the sandstone face. You can appreciate that there of this Yannai Malai hill. So that's why it is a grandeur. The Garbhagriha, the main deity Narasimha, is carved out of a natural rock of the mountain itself. It is not separately mounted over there. So that's a glory. Look at the planning they had. This makes this hill and the god absolutely different and inseparable from other temples. Now, the front of the mandapas, the entrance features a massive pillars typical of the early Dravidian style, showcasing a tradition from the rock-cut caves to the structural standalone temples. The tank, that is a Chakratirtha, when we went there was little water, but when it is filled, it is beautiful because it shows lotus floating in it. Located just outside the cave, this lotus-filled pond is considered as a sacred and provides a beautiful foreground for this temple. And as you know, most of the temples are always to the side by of a water source, and that is called as Pushkarni. Now, what is the religious and historical foreground? The temple is steeped in both local legends and historical records. The Narasimha avatar, as you know, is a Vishnu avatar taken for Prahlad to kill Hiranyakashipu. The temple is dedicated to the fourth avatar of Lord Vishnu, that is Narasimha avatar. Now, in Narasimha avatar, you got Ugra Narasimha, meditating Narasimha, then Yoga-Narasimha. Different type of Narasimhas are there. What you have seen in Hampi was Ugra Narasimha. That was just after killing the Hiranyakashipu. You can see it. You can see this in a many forms. So unlike Ugra, fearful form, he is depicted here in a seated meditative posture, that is Yogasana, signifying peace after destruction of the demon Hiranyakashipu. The inscription here, the inscriptions are important because they give us a real historical details. The temple is historically significant due to Vettelutu inscriptions. Now it is possible to decode them with the artificial intelligence. So not difficult. If you have photograph, it can be decoded. The Meridan, a minister of the Pandya king Maranguna Pandya I, with the construction of this cave, become one of the person whose name is written in the inscription. Now, what is the legend behind this elephant hill? The hill itself is said to be a giant elephant that was turned into a stone. I told you the story. It was because of the black magic. It was sent to destroy this empire here, but by the place of Lord Shiva, it was converted into mountain and then in the temple. So this is the story I told you, which is still active over here, and it is told and it is convincing here. If you see the temple and all that thing, you will get convinced. So let's go to the more rock-cut mandapas. The structure is in front of the mandapas, that is a pillar hall. They have got typical styles of the Pandyas, that is you will find a tall structures showing hereby a square base pillars. These are characteristic of Pandyan architecture, that is of the 8th century. A typical example is Meenakshi temple. Now, a pillar carvings, the pillar featured traditionally circular medallions and are floral motifs. You will find on all over them. These bold carvings are typical of the tradition from early cave excavation to the more structured standalone masonries. Where you will see more is at Pattatkal and Aihori near Badami. Then Adhisthana, what is Adhisthana? Is the base. The molded stone base is called as Adhisthana. It provides a structural and ritual foundation for the temple wall. Vimana is the Shikhara. It is gold plated. It is gold plated roof of the Vimana. So Vimana roof is they have painted or they have plated with the gold. The presence of lion figure Simha at the corners is significant. It's a Yoga-Narasimha temple, but as a lion is mount, and it is a symbol of Lord Narasimha, but also a symbol of strength and bravery. There are niches. You can call this as Devkoshtas. Devkoshtas, they do two things. Devkoshtas, they are sub-shrines for the small deities and also Parivara Devatas. And third thing, they add into the structures of the temple. The wall is divided by a small pilastered forming shallow niches. The larger temples, these would houses secondary deities. I told you they are Parivar Devatas, but here many maintain rhythmical symmetrical appearance with a rock face, and many of them are empty as on today. So there is nothing. But still they add into the technology or a structural of the temple, and they gives us a milestone how the evolution of temple has occurred. Now the Elephant Hill is one of the few places where you can see the seamless blend of the natural mountains and man-made temples. So this is a combination of nature plus man-made. The yogic pose of the deity beside is meant to reflect the stillness of the mountain itself. So these are comparable. Mountain and mood, meditation and mood, both are having similarities. Now let us see the detail more, which is this era is a Pandyan dynasty, approximately 770. So you can say 1300 years old. Material is cut from the natural sandstone, granite of the Yennai Malai Hill. Ample of stone available. Style is cave cut or rock cut. Then primary deity is Yoga-Narasimha Vishnu Avtara. Then the unique aspect is the main deity is a part of that living stone of the hill. Where else you will see this? Yes, you will see somewhere in Ellora, correct? There also you will see such type of temple. Now also here you will see here same type, means in the same stock, in same stone it is cut. Now let's have a look at these temples. It is a big hill. From the distance it looks like a seated elephant. We are taking these photographs from the road, so but it gives you the how much big it is. And once you go near the temple, we are going or approaching near the temple. Here again the inside photograph is not allowed. We are allowed only from outside. Only Sabha Mandap and the surrounding hills. There is a Pushkarani also, I told you, it is a lotus field in a rainy season. Right now there is little less water. We went there in March. So at that time it was practically dried up. Look at the temple wall, nicely decorated. Pillars you will find decorated. Of course this is Sabha Mandap. This is outside the temple. Inside temple your photograph is not allowed. This is a something like side structure in the temple that the photographs are taken. But this gives you an idea how much beautiful it is, and this gives you another instinct also why you should personally go and see. I have shown you exterior, I told you the stories behind, I told you the iconographic aspects of it. So when you will go next time, you can go into details of all these things. And after that, you can add into my presentation also. In comment section, you can write which are additional points you are finding. With that, we are coming to the end of this lecture. I thank you for giving me your valuable time. I hope you have got some idea about this temple. Of course, I do agree inside photography is not allowed. I have not given you much of the inside detail as far as photography is concerned, but I described them. I told you in words how it is and what are the aspects or important things you should see in this temple. And with this, let us come to end of this lecture. Goodbye, good luck, and take care. See you again next video. This is Dr. Anil Joshi logging off. Till we meet next time in next video.